Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's enjoying their Friday. I'm just now getting off work. I know it's been a while. I was going to do one Saturday, but I ended up getting sick. Pretty much been down since yesterday. Tonight was actually my first night back at work. I know one thing: this weather's easy to make up its mind. Either warm or cold. See, I got snow on the hood, which is funny. Wednesday, 70, almost reached 75 degrees. The temperatures just plummeted. But those that are actually tuning into YouTube, I'm not on YouTube. I'm streaming through from the Minds from the Jetsy app or the Gathering app for my group, so I can't see chat. Yeah, they got everybody detouring. They got construction going on in Pioneer. They got the whole main road tore up, which is weird. They started that January January 3rd. Weird project when they're tearing up the streets, redoing the lines and pipes, sewer pipes and stuff, water lines in the middle of winter. Feels like we're still in winter. No, we're in spring. I gotta admit, for the most part of March, we had almost fairly nice March until the last week. If they say about March, it'll go out roaring like a lion. But I was just happy to see next month's electric bill, a normal electric bill instead of $800, $900 electric bills. So the way things are right now, it's a struggle. You're not living paycheck to paycheck. You're trying to figure out, oh, can I get groceries this week? Gas prices are still steady at 4.25. A couple places we got it down to 3.99. I know here in Ohio there's a few gas stations that are 3.99, 3.95. But still, it's ridiculous. I made the mistake. Well, I didn't have a choice. It's tight on money, and I drove allowed this thing to get to a half a tank. It was almost $70 to fill up to a half a tank. Now you're going to talk about, oh, food shortage. It's, but that's not the part that I know. I just had to laugh. It's not fun. Earlier this week, or end of last week, which Biden made an announcement about we have no money put put towards new vaccines if we get a new variant. I'm like, what do you mean we have no money? We just get billions of dollars, which I find really, really fucked up. We put another fucking country first. We got our own crisis and problems. And mind you, Ukraine's not even part of NATO. And I'm not going to get too much into that because all that is just like the Cold War used to be. It's just propaganda back and forth, lies from both sides. Nobody, it's impossible. Nobody, I wish that our politicians would focus more on our country, the country that they're supposed to be pledged, swear oaths to, pledged to, but yet they don't care. They rather give money to every other country but put money in our country. And no, I said it last year. I wasn't going to make no predictions for this year because it's nothing good. It hasn't been nothing good, and it's just steadily getting worse. But you know, they they're not going to waste a good crisis. That's for sure. It's a lot of people, follow your YouTube streamers, people that you guys follow. What aren't they talking about? Well, no longer talking about a red wave. I kind of get put on the back burner, which my opinion on that. We don't need a red wave. We don't need a blue wave. We need to put the right people in office, not the same people that lie to you every time. We need to put people in office that holds our values. But no, we keep re-electing the same people or the same type of people. The ones that would rather give billions of dollars to Ukraine instead of putting that money here where we need it. It's just become one big joke. The worst part is the joke's not even funny. It really isn't. It's gotten to the point where it's not you can't even afford to go to the grocery store. Price at the grocery store is worse than the price of the gas pump. I got lucky. I managed to stock up before everything really got bad. So I'm good for the rest of the month. Plus with the long hours I work, I really don't cook I cook the big meals on the weekend. That way I have leftovers to get me through middle of the week. So I don't really eat that much during the week. So I'm able to stretch my food out a little bit longer than most people. But I do foresee, a lot of, I see things getting, as it warms up, I think we're going to see a lot more people get fed up with the way things are going. Mainly the people are, everybody's getting tired of being lied to. And I think a lot of people start to see the writing on the wall too about how our government freely sends billions and billions of dollars to other countries and completely neglects ours. But it also goes back to what I've always said. They know they're losing control. They're just going to practice that stuff, scorched earth tactic. They're going to burn it all down on the way out the door. Or from the beginning of the year, everybody talks about civil war, red wave. Now the only thing you hear about is Ukraine. It's been a great distraction, because of the joke of the Oscars, whatever it was. Uh, I, just yet another distraction. I can't believe this happened. It's like, who cares? Why pollute your mind with that trash? They're just propaganda machines themselves. Paid prostitutes. You see what happens to the ones that don't play ball, don't play that. They get run out of Hollywood or kicked out of Disney. Yeah, so they can just belong. The most I've tuned out of sports. I enjoyed March Madness. I was just fun. I'm not a big fan of college basketball stuff, but I love March Madness. I like college football, racing, love hockey. Just tuned it all out. It's, after all the crap that's been going on, the politics that got involved in the sports, propaganda involved in the sports, it's just that fun. There's no enjoyment. That's why I'll be glad when it warms up, the local racetracks open up. I get more enjoyment, thrill going to the local racetracks. Why? You're surrounded by people there just to have a good time. Everybody forgets the politics at the game. There's just good things that's been happening. A lot more states have passed constitutional carry. You know, Ohio, Indiana passed it, which is great for me. I live in pretty much on both. But we're seeing more and more states starting to do it. Florida's talking about doing it. But, then I have not heard anybody question why. And granted, most of these states that have passed it are pretty much, well, Republican run states. We'll give it that. But, ever set back and question why? Why all of a sudden all these things jump on that? It shouldn't even be a talking point. It shouldn't even be where you have to worry about a constitution carry in every state. It should be everybody has the right to bear arms carry. Second Amendment's quite clear, it's black and white, but no. We got to argue semantics. You know, we've gotten away from the simplicity of them. We've gotten away from common sense. The Constitution is pretty simple common sense. You know, just like all these gender issues, it could be simply summed up. Your DNA. Your DNA dictates whether you're a male or we could cancel, put an end to that argument for good. Our Supreme Court justices should have put an end to that argument. But no, it's still a hot topic, as we've seen with that swimmer. I mean, there's a simple fix for that. You create a division that's open to all sexes, both sexes. Simple. But those that want to test, see how great they are, how good they are against everyone, there you go. Of course, they'll complain, oh, that's not fair. Me personally, I don't care what your preferences are. As long as it doesn't affect me or mine or my own, you're free to do what you wish. I'll show you the same respect that you show me. But there is some things, it's just common sense. No, we're not going to have universal bath. It goes back to your DNA dictates what you. Can't argue it, can't refute it. Back when I was growing up, the word trans only pertained to one group of people, transvestites. But now look at it, it means so much more. Of course, I've talked about that, how they'll use words repeatedly, repetitively to dull you to it, numb you to it. I mean, words, it's a word game. That's just what it is. It's a word. It has no meaning, no power. It is nothing unless you give it power. If you take offense to something, you're giving somebody power over. Instead of being the masters of thyself, you're letting somebody be masters over you. That's why I should have the that video I talked about in the last podcast I did. I was hoping to have it ready to go for this weekend, but I'm a couple of weeks behind on it. But yeah, I mean, if you guys understood how much power your voice has, you know, you talk about words, it's your voice. You have control over words. You either give them power or you don't. You give them meaning or you don't. When you start learning how to control your voice, understand your words, how you vibrate out, speak the energies you put behind them, emotion. You start seeing things in a whole new perspective. Then you see the bullshitters for the bullshitters, the players for the players, the liars for the liars. Those, those that speak with silver tongue. You see right through it because they have no power over you. And all these world leaders, celebrities, politicians, they know this. They understand this. They know how to use their voice. They know how to manipulate you. They know how to phrase certain words to you that are so enticing, draws you in, captivates you, and ensnares you. I remember as when I was a teenager, I don't talk much about my teenage years because I was pretty much my party years. It was. I will tell you, it wasn't a day that went by that I wasn't high, tripping. But you know, I kept this. I had a few circles of friends. I'd go from one circle to the other about every 6 months, disappear from the one, the city. But the one partying circle I was with, we were all tight. I don't know, we're kind of the older ones. There's two younger ones that we worked with. You know, we was always brought up. You don't go out partying. Your bowls, your bag of weed. Yeah. roll a couple joints. Cool. We always had a place to chill parties, so we weren't out getting in trouble. You know, the young ones, no, they didn't understand. So we always kind of took them under our wing. Watched out for them, make sure they weren't doing nothing, none of the hard stuff. But one day, me and my friend got stuck. Like, you know, I can get anybody to eventually that hang around with us smoke weed. She's like, "Oh, you know that such and such won't never touch it." I'm like, "Watch." Then it was simple. We're sitting around, passing the bowl around. You know, person that don't smoke's always either sitting next to one of us. You know, I'd offer. It's like, "Oh, my bad, I forgot." Skip them. Do it 3 times. Within a couple of weeks, next thing you know, we're grabbing that bowl. And I'm using this as an example of a bad example. You know, back then, no, I didn't really care. I didn't realize that I was corrupting somebody. Of course, then again, I got a different opinion on weed, so I think it should be legal, this and that. But it was that easy. We just didn't realize it. You know, it was like putting a suggestion out there. You know, it's like everybody talks about, oh, when I smoke, I get the munchies. That's mental. It really is. It's mental. And you start telling people that, they start, they observe you, you know, with the munchies or nothing like that. Next thing you know, they're like, "You're right, it is mental." Just by saying a simple suggestion. But it is true. It's all mental. They're down for the addictions. It's mental. Learn to control your mind. There is no addiction. Because you're doing it. It's just like for me, whenever I want to quit smoking, because I went 2, 3, 4 years without smoking cigarettes. The first 3 days, that's the hard part. After that, it's the mental. But for me, it's simple. Anything that makes me sick, makes me throw up, I won't touch. I won't do. I don't vape. There's only certain vapes that I can even vape that don't make me cough. It makes me cough? No, it's not. That's my body saying no. But I've taught myself to do that. You know thyself, know thy body. You guys have so much power and control, but you freely give it away to somebody else. Now, I'm not going to say I don't have stress in my life, but it's something I work on not to have. Simple phrase, simple saying. It'll work out. It always does. You know what? It does. Then again, to do that, you also gotta understand that what wants and needs. It'll all work out. Your needs will be taken care of, not your wants. And so sometimes, yeah, your wants might get taken care of. But when you start going down that little slope, 396, you gotta get a full tank. But when you start going down that road and start anticipating, thinking that all your wants are going to be taken care of, you open that door and giving something else control, something else power. Because your wants are just that. They're wants. They're not needs. They're not going to sustain clothes or food up into pay your bills. In fact, your wants is just going to put you in debt, usually. My wants are simple. If I want something bad enough, I'll save up for it. I'll put a little aside out of each check, whatever's left over from the previous check. Put that aside. Hey, I can afford some of those wants, or hey, it's a vacation later in the summer, maybe. Or it's emergency funds for when times are tough. Like next week for me is going to be tough. Not next week, the week after. It's going to be tough because I'm only going to have 2 days of pay, which is just enough to cover the bills and get back and forth to work. That's not even going to cover all the bills. But know thyself. I knew I was sick, and I knew to the doctor. So I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to go back to work Wednesday. Yeah, doctor wasn't on it. Really wasn't on it. I walked in there and I had lab work done the day before. I was just going there to get the test results and she gets prescribed the prescriptions. And so it's a type of penicillin. I'm sure it begins to see. Goes back on the albuterol. Yeah, like about the long hours I've been working, not getting enough rest. Almost got admitted to ER Wednesday. My blood pressure was through the roof. I didn't notice it. Just like I didn't notice I had an ear infection or a sinus infection. All I noticed is my lymph node was infected. Infection in my lymph node because it was working over top 3 infections. It's Monday. Like I said, I wasn't feeling good Saturday. Sunday, I felt a little bit better. Monday, I woke up, whole left side of my face was swollen. I looked like started a fever. I use the hot compound press to take the swelling down, but it was real sore. Tuesday, woke up, swelling was pretty much gone except for around the lymph node. But it was sore. It hurt me. So I'm like, you know what? Last time I was at the doctor's office, they told me that I had an issue with it again. I'm right. So I did. I got some blood work done, some other tests done on Tuesday. Thankfully, I was just nothing on my lymph nodes, just doing what it's supposed to do. It's just overtaxed and I'm like rest. Working too many hours. Not giving my body a chance to heal. Back when I was sick with pneumonia, the worst part of it is, like I said, stated last year in December, this year I said I wasn't going to do all the overtime like I did last year. Shit, I was going 500 hours of overtime last year. Only to be robbed by Uncle Sam. It was bad enough when I did my taxes, you know. And they took out almost 10K in taxes from the previous year. What hurt me was all the overtime I worked. Then wait for my income tax return. And I finally went on this IRS.gov, check on my return. Well, instead of getting almost 2 grand back, they I'm still waiting on the letter for that to find out what the hell happened. Shit. I knew you were gonna knew they were gonna rob me for all that. I even went the whole purpose. I went to Jackson Hewitt because usually you get taxes back the following week after the file. See the quick return, so spend a little extra money. Still ended up waiting. Then what they jacked in the ones to pay my taxes last 2 years anyway. Around between the state and federal, put over 2,000. Then I find out I'm only getting 500. I'm like, well, what the hell? Of course, they said they'll mail you the what why we had to recalculate your tax refund. So you work your ass off all year, thinking you're going to get a nice return at the end of the year. Oh, get robbed at the end of the year too. The worst part of it is all of our taxpayer dollars. Where's it go? Definitely don't go back reducing the deficit. Definitely doesn't go back into infrastructure because our infrastructure is crap. Oh, that's right. It goes to these foreign countries for aid. While the Federal Reserve prints money like it's going out of style. The more they print, the more the value of the dollar decreases. Then the more they want to tax us. Then the more money they want to send to a foreign country for aid that we don't have. And out of the horse's mouth. We don't have funding. We don't have the money to make new vaccines that the new variant has. It's like, really? Then why do you send billions of dollars to Ukraine? Because it's not the American people. It's another country. You know? The banks are broke. Everybody's broke. You know? I say I told people here late, take some of that money and invest it in something just solid, whether it be gold, silver, aluminum, food, liquor. If you're into crypto, be the crypto thing. And we've seen a bunch of people that actually invested during those lockdowns. And they came out smelling like roses. Oh, those of us that always, no, that's not my thing. Yeah, well, we missed out on an opportunity. I'm still not big fan of crypto because there's nothing back. It's intellectual, it's imaginary. Just like I'm not a fan of the US dollar being backed by oil. Just like, right now, all those sanctions are put on Russia. Who's laughing now? Definitely ain't us. We're the ones suffering. And it just showed how pathetic our government was. Because now, the rubles worth more than the dollar. The rubles worth more than most cryptocurrencies. Why? Because it's backed by gold. We have an incompetent president that should not be in office any longer. All those sanctions we put on, ruins. The reason we're going to have food shortages, the reason why price of the food is going to go up, some of it has to do with the sanctions put on Russia. But it's an ongoing problem. It's been an ongoing problem because we do not, we've gotten away from manufacturing our own stuff, making our own stuff. We've got big corporations, big businesses that have shipped their factories overseas to get cheap labor. So they can ship it back at cheaper costs, and we get poor, poor, poor quality when it comes to parts, cars, because they can skirt all the loopholes of tough regulation and quality control and stuff. You know, and it's ridiculous. There's more stuff sold in most of the places we shop that's made in China than here. It's just like all the chips we need. It's not even made here. We're so reliant on other countries for our products when we shouldn't have to ever rely on anyone. No, status quo of our politics, business, big corporate businesses, because ship our shit out, outsource them. That's why when we buy something, it don't very seldom last over a year. Poor quality of metal, poor quality of steel. I guess the part that shocked me the most, I never actually made them do it. Kind of funny. Growing up in the country, worked on farms, did not realize that our fertilizer is manufactured here in the United States. I would have never guessed that the biggest source of our fertilizer imported from Russia. Who would have thought it? You know, like I said, food shortages, the prices going up. Oh yeah, we haven't got the planting season yet. As you can see, I'm driving by farmland after farmland, fields after field. They're not even filled and ready to go yet. And because of this crazy weather we've been having, all the rain we keep getting. Uh, Crap. Just, well, not even a week ago. All this was starting to like almost fully green. So the temperatures dropped last week. We got below freezing again. Most of the farmers haven't got up for fields yet. The few managed to get out there for those couple of dry weeks that we did have. We didn't get no rain for a week or so. Very few. So we're not even. I mean, I don't even want to think about come fall. You know, we already seen the price of grain and wheat go up. And, we got Biden and our government saying, "Oh, yeah, there's going to be a food shortage." Well, if there is one, they manufacture. They've created this problem. I'm not going to piss people off. Trump was just a gift he's created this problem. The things people do in fear. That's exactly what they did. They pushed the fear campaign to its fullest. Got people to not go to work, shut things down, practically obliterated all the mom and pops, stores and restaurants. Created programs that paid people more money than I was making working during COVID at time and a half, or not double time, plus the 40 hours. People that got laid off, factories that actually shut down, and they went on unemployment, they were actually making more money than they were making at work. We wonder why nobody wanted to go back to work. And those that played that game, you're just as guilty as them for the problems we face now as our politicians. You know, it's gotten so bad, at least in the areas I'm from. You know, it's honestly, it ain't a company's market no more. It's a workers' market. Now, for the first time, you can go wherever you want and get pretty much all the pay you want. Because everybody keeps raising the price of pay. I mean, damn, restaurants are paying $14 an hour around here, starting off. Most factories around here are anywhere between 18 to $25 an hour. And the ones that aren't can't keep can't keep employees. You know, I work at where I work. I love my job. Why yeah, it's probably be a lot more beneficial for me to go someplace else, make more money than what I'm making now. Shorter drive time, but I have to start all over.